got the honor of doing a brand new Sapphire effect. So let's have a little look. We are going to be taking a look at a new effect called ColorFuse. Mr. Brian, would you mind playing back my little video, please? Because this is probably going to be a good idea for me to just talk over ColorFuse and tell people what it is. Because basically, it is a brand new, one of a kind, let's say, color effect, which allows you to mix in up to 3 different LUTs and combine those together into one custom look. And that look that we take there is going to be cross-host compatible, cross-platform compatible, so we don't have to have access to the original LUTs when we take those over. And I think as we start to see the workflow, you're going to start to begin to understand how this opens up like an unimaginable amount of different looks really, really quickly, just with one simple effect. But the workflow is going to be exactly the same, no matter whether you're working in Avid, Premiere, or After Effects, or any of the other Sapphire hosts. Let's take this video here. Here we go. Yeah, that's as good as any. And I'm going to apply ColorFuse. And if we take a look at the interface itself is actually really, really straightforward. We do have Mocha, which we were talking about just a moment ago, but actually the main interesting parts are going to be this area down here. So we've got 3 areas where we can choose our different LUTs, and we've got 3 sliders where we can control the strength of them. And that is the main kind of thrust of this effect. So if I come in, we can just sort of slide our slider up and down, choose a strength, and sort of dial that in. If I don't like that sort of look, I'm just going to click on choose LUT, and it's going to open up my list of LUTs here. So ColorFuse comes with 30 pre-installed LUTs as part of the Boris Effects starter LUT pack. And these have been organized into different areas. So we have CF for ColorFuse, BW for black and white. We have CF, C for color. So that's color film emulation. And we have CFS for stylized. So the ones that are based off of real film have, the real film. Let's choose something that wasn't the one we already had put on by default. Yeah, so these are based off of actual film stocks, and we can just adjust these up and down a little bit. So if I bring this up maybe just a wee bit, bring that to about 0.3, and I can come into my second one, choose that there. Let's take one of the black and white ones. Let's take the top black and white one, and that will then obviously send everything black and white. Let's do a subtle desaturation on this. So we'll just do a quick before and after on that. If at any point I decide that that's not quite the right look that I'm going for, I can just click on a button, comes back up, and I can I'll come in here and I'll go in and completely change up the look that I'm going for. So instead of that sort of cool blue look, I can sort of go for a slightly heavier green, come in, do a third version, and then what should we do? Let's punch this up a little bit. Orange and teal punchy. Maybe a little bit too punchy, Ben. Let's bring that down. There we go. And really it is amazingly straightforward. We can sort of just come in, bring that in, and then let's just play that back. And it plays back nice and fast. If I didn't have loads of streaming going on and I thought about it and not chosen 4K footage, this might be playing back even faster, but I think we're doing all right here. So we got a nice little look going on that. let's come over to somewhere else. Let's choose something random. Let's take this one here, because we can apply this as a filler layer over the top in Avid, or we can also apply this as adjustment layers. So where I see this going in most people's workflows is it's going to be sort of like the last little element where we're trying to push the look. So the main color correction's already been done. So we've got everything nicely balanced up, and we just want to push the look a little bit into a certain area to give it that unique feel. And this is something I've been doing for many years with different, you know, different types of things. But obviously LUTs have become you know, huge over the last few years. You can't sort of turn on a YouTube influencer video without them trying to sell you their LUT pack. So instead of, you know, fighting up the hill, what we've done with ColorFuse is actually come in and said, I think we can take these and make them even more useful. Because what I would often be doing is I would be coming in and I would be looking at you know, some of these LUTs that I'd created myself, some of these looks I'd created myself, and I'd be adding them and I'd be blending them together, and I'd end up with like a huge list of different you know, different effects in my effect palette, and basically it was just getting sort of unwieldy, really, just because you'd end up with this thing that was, you know, really quite huge. And what I did there was, let's load up the presets one more time. I sort of skipped over something a little bit there. Yeah, so what we've got here instead is we've got the ability to kind of come in and sort of work with multiple looks simultaneously and kind of combine and mix your own unique ones. Now, when it comes to presets, we've got a lot of presets that are shipping with this as well. So we've actually got 50 presets coming in. These follow the same basic naming conventions as the LUTs themselves. So BW, black and white, C for color, S for stylized. But we've also got these M ones here. And what the M stands for is mixed. So these are ones that have been mixed together. And most of these are actually kind of, you know, they're named in a way that you sort of understand what they're going for. Some of them are a little bit, you know, cleverly named. But some of them, you know, most of them are actually pretty, you know, pretty well named. Like, you know, in the morning, you've got a sort of early low contrast look. Cool, defoliate. If we take a look, actually, I'll load that one in. You can see what that's doing. This is coming in and just taking out some of the brighter greens from the trees. So you can see that's just taking that out and turning this a little bit into a more autumn sort of you know, look. And even though these are coming in as presets, we can just come in and just mix these up so that they fit in our footage, or fit in with our footage in as good a way as possible. Now, in the same way that we can load the presets in, we can also save our presets out. So if that's using the main sort of default LUTs, that's fine. If, on the other hand, you have your own custom ones, let's come over here. Add ColorFuse over here. If you've got your own custom LUTs, there's no reason why you can't use those in ColorFuse as well. I'm going to go choose LUT. I'm going to come into my external LUTs folder. You know, as I said, I've been working with LUTs for a very long time. So I have been creating up quite a lot of these myself. So if I just come in, I will go to Film Wash Volume 6 and we'll take I'm not sure which one. We'll go with a random strong vintage yellow, for example. And I can just sort of bring that in there. And that's actually looking kind of nice. there, and I can mix up another one. Let's go back to my custom LUTs folder with the big folder of LUTs. Or let's go Amelie 02, something like that. So these are my own personal ones. You will not see these ones in the effect, but that's looking kind of all right.
You holding out on me?
Hang on.
Out?
Yeah, I am, Brian. These are the ones that they supported my studio for many years. I'm not giving away the farm. What it like?
Unbelievable.
You may find some of these pop up at some point. I don't know. Maybe. It depends who asks nicely.
You can just save it as a preset and send it to me, so I don't even have to need it anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, the point is now I've got these loaded in here as my custom LUTs. So what I can do is once Premiere's decided it's going to finish saving my project, I'm going to save this out as a preset. There we go. Thank you, Premiere. And I'll save this out and I'll call this one Ben's Fancy Look. Eyes only. Means you're not ever going to get this. And I can export this out as a file and send it out to people, or just save it on my system itself. And the cool thing about this, I save this preset, I can open it up in any other Sapphire host as well that's running ColorFuse. So I can save this in Premiere, open it in Avid, open it in Nuke, open it in Resolve, do whatever I need to do with it. And that's going to be with me wherever I go. One other little thing, I'm going to come in here. Yeah, let's see. I'm in After Effects now, and apply ColorFuse here. Stylize, Ben, ColorFuse. There we go. And I'm just going to turn the default look up, just so we can take a look at this and we can see what this looks like. So I said that we can mix 3 together, but ColorFuse has something a little bit special up its sleeve as well. Something that I find amazingly useful, and that is host color space and LUT color space. Now, the LUTs that we've been working with so far have been designed for working with sRGB footage. Not all LUTs you have, either ones that you've bought or ones that you make yourself, are necessarily going to be designed for sRGB. So the usual solution for that has been to do a complicated color transform, where you transform it from the host from one color space to another color space to get the LUT looking right. Actually, let's do that while I'm here. I'm going to come into my project settings. All I'm going to do, I'm just going to linearize my working space in After Effects. So working in a linear color space. And as soon as I do that, this color transformation looks awful. This is not what we're going for. This, surprisingly enough, the dirty, muddy image isn't the look we're going for here. So instead of setting up, different color transforms to take me from linear to sRGB, then do my effect, then go from sRGB back to linear again, making sure that everything, slows down to a snail's pace. All I'm going to do is come to my host color space here. I'm just going to say, ColorFuse, do you know what? We're actually working in a linear host color space. Is that all right with you? And it will go, yes, Ben, of course it is. And it will show me the correct image. And that's really as simple as it is. Like having a host color space here and a LUT color space down here saves any sort of unnecessary, or actually completely necessary color transforms going as separate effects. You can do them all within the ColorFuse effect as we've got it right here. I'm going to add in Builder onto this. I'm going to edit my effect here. I'll type ColorFuse to see what we've got. I don't have ColorFuse, but I do have ColorFuse Looks. So what is ColorFuse Looks? Well, ColorFuse Looks is almost like the little brother of ColorFuse. I can use any of the included LUTs, any of the 30 LUTs that I would be doing normally, and just come down here. Let's just sort of add a little black and white one in there, just to desaturate just a little bit. Come in here. Let's go to Dry County. Oh yes, you're in Dry County now. And just sort of bring that back, so we can still be mixing all of our things together, but you just can't come in and use your own LUTs. You can only use the ones that are provided with the with ColorFuse looks. But that's still 30 LUTs. What this means, having ColorFuse looks in here, is that we can come in and we can create more complex looks still, whether we're working in Builder or Sapphire for Photoshop. If you saw the little presentation earlier, we can still have ColorFuse in these, but we'll just be using ColorFuse looks instead. And that's the only difference. So we do have the ability to still use ColorFuse within Builder and within Photoshop, but we're using the little brother. We're using ColorFuse looks. Just having those three separate inputs for your color looks opens up just an absolutely almost infinite range of effects that you can apply to, just using the tools you already have. So if you've got LUTs already, you're going to use them. You're going to start to find different ways of using them in a very, very easy way, rather than coming in and having to hunt through, huge complicated effects to just do the little blending that you want to do. And I think this just makes it so much easier to add the sort of finishing touches, no matter what host application you're working in. I think that's where ColorFuse has been amazingly fun for me.